In this video, you're going to learn about the 6 steps you need to do with your paycheck every time you get paid, so you're not left counting down the days until you next get paid. Hey, what's up guys, it's Christian here. Today we're going to be talking about the 6 steps you need to do as soon as you get paid to set you up for success on your personal finance journey. If that sounds good, sit back and enjoy the show. First things first, I must say I am not your financial advisor, so please seek financial and professional help instead of just some random guy over the internet. With that out of the way, the first thing we want to do is we want to start with the low-hanging fruit, and that is enrolling in your workplace pension. This is just free money, and if you don't do it, you are seriously missing out. So what this is you are missing out on a small part of your salary each month, and this will go into your pension. Most workplaces should offer a employer match. So for example, if you put in £50, your employer will also put in £50, but usually it works based on percentages of your salary. Although you're missing out in the short term, in the long term, it is really beneficial because of compound interest. So the sooner you start, the more it has a chance to grow over time. Once you have enrolled in your workplace pension, then you're going to have your take-home pay. So employer pension comes out of your before tax salary, and then you have your take-home pay. With your take-home pay, the first thing you need to do is put aside money or pay all of your necessities. So that is everything you need to keep a roof over your head, being able to go to work, and just food on the table, and not your £5 Starbucks every morning because you need it to keep going. You've got to think about your needs versus your wants first. Once this is done, you want to start building your emergency fund. Usually, to start off, you want at least 1 to 3 months of your monthly spendings, which if you watched my last video, you would know by now because you've tracked it. And then you want to put this into a high yield savings account. I say high because during the pandemic, all interest rates have plummeted, so high is relative. But depending on how comfortable you are, where you're living, your job financials, it depends on how much you're going to put away. So usually 1 to 3 months. If you're living at home with your parents, paying no rent, and your job is really stable, then you can have on the lower side of 1 month. If you are in a job field that is really volatile, you might lose your job tomorrow, you just don't know, then you want it at least 3 months just to start off with. How much you want is you want all of your spending. So say like if you spend £800 a month, that is your necessities. What you need to spend every month is £800. And then you are in a really volatile area, you just don't know what's going to happen, then you want to aim for at least 3 months. So £2,400, for example, just put away into a high yield savings account. And on the flip side, if you're living with your parents, you have a really nice job that you're not going to lose, then you can aim £800 just to start with, a month's worth of necessity spendings. After you've done your 1 to 3 months of emergency fund, then you want to start tackling your debt. Anything over 4 to 5%, really, you want to get rid of straight away. This could be things like the car you financed or credit cards you've maxed out. Anything really over 4 to 5%, I would start tackling straight away. The reason why I say anything over 4 to 5% is because you get a guaranteed return on that as soon as it's paid off, instead of putting your money into the stock market where you can try and get a 6-7% return, but that is not guaranteed. Paying off your debt, that is 100% guaranteed money that you're going to be saving. A nice example is, say like you've maxed out your credit cards and you're paying back interest, and that interest is 20%. As soon as that's paid off, you have saved 20% of that every single month, guaranteed, instead of putting it into the stock market and hoping things go your way. There are 2 ways that I like to go about paying back debt, and that is, without going into too much detail, it's the avalanche method and the snowball method. The snowball method is picking the lowest balance. So if you have a credit card that has 5,000, a car finance that has 1,000 left on it, then you want to get rid of that car finance first, even though the credit card may have a higher interest. And then the second is the avalanche method, and that is you want to pick the one with the highest interest. So in that example, it is the credit card. You want to get rid of that first because it has the highest interest, and then you want to go to your car finance. Once again, it depends on your situation. There are many calculators online that you can use to help find which is the best one for you, but if you're not sure, then just speak to a financial advisor. The next step in this video is just a repeat of number 3, but at a much larger scale. This time I want you to put 6 to 12 months of your spending into a high yield savings account. I cannot stress how nice that has been during all of this pandemic, just knowing that I have money left over in case anything happens. If I lose my job or any medical bills or anything like that happen, then I'm covered and I don't need to resort to loans or maxing out my credit card. It's just a really nice feeling, and that is why this is step number 4. Now this is the last step, and this is where the fun begins. The other ones aren't sexy, but they are the sensible ones, but this is what gets the views, this step right here. First, you need to know your financial goals and the timeframes in which you want to accomplish them. Let's just use, for simplicity's sake, one is you want to buy a car in the next 3 years, and the other one is you want to get a house in the next 8 years. So usually I like to say anything under 5 years you want to put money aside for or just save for it, and then anything over 5 years you want to put into the stock market or invest it in your choice. For the car, you want to put into a high yield savings account. This is completely separate from your emergency fund. You just don't touch that unless it's an emergency. With this car fund, you want to put into a high yield savings account just because you don't have the time to ride the dips and waves of the stock market. So it's a guaranteed money, and you don't have to chance having your money at a low point of the time you want to buy the car. Now for the house in this example, you're buying it in 8 years, and my best method to go about that is you put everything into a lifetime ISA, which is where you can contribute £4,000 per year and the government will match 25%. So if you put the 4,000, the government will give you 1,000, but you want to put as much as you can towards this, even if it's not the full 4,000 a year, because you'll still get that 25% bonus. And then anything after that, you want to put into a ISA, a stocks and shares ISA, or just invest it into global index trackers or ETFs, because they're the really hands-off way of investing in the stock market. You can usually see about 7 to 10% returns, usually 7, as we can see across the past years. My favourite stock to invest in personally is the Vanguard Global All Cap through Vanguard's platform. Vanguard has the cheapest, one of the cheapest rates, so you don't have to pay very high fees for investing, and they are just really easy to get along with. But that's my choice, and please research and figure out what is best for you, because everybody has different risk tolerances and just chooses different options. I will eventually be coming out with a video to discuss all of these different investment options, because I can't really go too much into detail here because I'm just outlining the 6 steps. So if that does sound interesting for you, please hit the notification bell to never miss out on a new video, and you can see my new video on how to invest when it comes out. Now, before people come in the comments and say, I have no money to spend on my Starbucks or my new clothes, you've got to realise that once these 6 steps are out of the way, then you can go back and you can look at the amount you're saving, the amount you're paying back for debt, and then dial it back a bit and just have some fun money, because that's really important. I would personally like to save about 10% of my take-home pay and just have fun money, spend it on whatever I want, have no worries about that, just spend it. If you feel like you got value from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could drop a thumbs up and a subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section of how you plan to use some of these steps to help you on your budgeting journey. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.